Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In my previous video, I made beans served with wholemeal chapatis, and today I'm here to show you how to make the chapatis. For the beans recipe, check out my previous post, but for now, I'll get right into it. All I need for this recipe are wholemeal flour, salt, sugar, and cooking oil. I'm using 1 kilo of plain wholemeal flour. I add the flour into a large bowl and reserve a little of the flour, and I will show you how I use this remaining flour. I add the salt and sugar and incorporate them into the flour. After this, I add cooking oil and incorporate it into the flour. I do this until it has a crumbly texture. Don't worry about the quantities used, as I have listed them all in the description box, so take the time to check them out. At this point, I add warm water and mix to form a dough. I add the water in little increments to avoid adding too much water. As you can see here, I added a bit too much water, and this is where the reserved flour comes in. I add the flour in little increments as needed. The dough is still too sticky, so I add flour and continue kneading. I knead until the flour is incorporated into the dough and the dough is no longer sticky to my hand and the bowl. The aim here is to have a soft dough. I add some oil and coat the dough to prevent it from sticking to the bowl. Then I cover the dough and allow this to rest for half an hour. Giving the dough time to rest makes it easier to work with when rolling. At this point, I lightly knead the dough and make it into balls as shown here. This dough is enough for 10 to 12 parts depending on your preferred size and how thick or thin you love your chapatis. Take each ball and roll it out as wide as possible, then add oil. Spread the oil onto the chapati, then roll this as you see me doing here. Stretch it and make it into a coil. Repeat these steps until all dough balls are done. Trust the process and keep in mind that this step is what gives the chapatis the layers, so don't skip this step. I heat my pan while rolling out the dough. I take each coiled dough and roll it out, and this time I keep an eye on the shape. Try to roll this out as round as possible. Don't worry if you don't achieve the round shape, because it will not affect the taste. Keep practicing, and with time you'll get the hang of it. Once I'm happy with the shape, I start cooking the chapatis. I place the chapati onto the hot pan and wait for it to dry out, as you can see here. Meanwhile, I continue rolling the next coil at the same time. I flip it and add oil, flip it again and add oil onto the other side. I cook it until both sides are well cooked and remove the chapati. Set this aside and repeat this step until all chapatis are cooked. I love eating these with beans, lentils, or stew. I served this with beans in my previous video. If you'd like to check out that recipe, please check out my previous post. The chapatis are now done and ready to eat. Look at how soft they are. If you're new here or have been watching me without subscribing, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell to be alerted every time I put up a new recipe. Please like, share and comment down below. This is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. Be blessed and see you all in my next one.